Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are so thrilled to have on a longtime friend and colleague of mine, Sandy Purdon. He's the founder and executive producer of the Port of San Diego Big Bay Boom and about 4 billion other things in between, which we'll chat about as well. Sandy, it's always good to see you.
Hey, great to see you again, Drew.
How you been?
Good.
Before we get into the Big Bay Boom, you're 24, is that correct? Is that right?
You mean age-wise?
Well, you're not 24, but the 24 years of the event, is that about right?
Yeah. We started in 2001.
Oh, my God, that's great. Talk about your career leading up to this.
Well, I came to San Diego in 71 after getting out of the Marine Corps. And
thank you for your service.
Thank you. And settled in Del Mar, started a real estate business, got involved in all kinds of stuff around real estate. Eventually moved to Point Loma, got involved in the yacht club down there, and ended up building a pretty good race boat, campaigned for about 20 years. Got to know Dennis Conner pretty good. He asked me to be the executive director for his team going to Australia to win the America's Cup, so I did that.
Oh, fantastic.
When I came back, I got a good friend of mine, Dick Virgilio, was a trauma surgeon at Mercy, said, I need to raise some money for the foundation. So I said, he said, let's race to Hawaii in 2 different boats and spend some time out on the water. And I said, great. So I spent 17 days alone on a 46-foot boat.
Oh, my goodness.
Raised $300,000 for the trauma center. It's been a great life. Married, got a daughter, just got married, and
congratulations.
It's been a great life.
Yeah, and Sandy's been heavily involved with our military community, big supporter of Fleet Week San Diego, San Diego Military Advisory Council that you've heard us talk about many times on Cloudcast. So we're very, very appreciative of that as well, Sandy. And what's near and dear to your heart is the beneficiary of the Big Bay Boom, and that is the Armed Services Y. Talk about that.
Well, the Armed Services Y is actually, I think it's the oldest Y because they separated from the Y we know that has gyms and swimming pools. It's totally a social thing, a social support system for young military families and their kids, which struggle a little bit in San Diego because of the high cost of living. So I got involved when I came up with this concept of having a fireworks show. I thought we should have a beneficiary, and I thought what more appropriate than the Armed Services Y, being a former military person myself, and the connection was perfect for 4th of July. So that connection was made, and I'm so proud to be involved in that group. It's great. They actually started during the Civil War, which a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, I think we knew that, and we were chatting before you got on. Of course, a frequent guest on our show. It was Tim Ney. Tim Ney, and the executive director of Armed Services. You worked very closely with him as well.
Right. Now Frank Martin's taken over, and he's doing a great job.
Good, yeah. I'd like to meet him. We need to get him on the show too. We'll make a note of that. So it's 2001, and you go, I want to do the biggest, baddest fireworks show in the West, right? That just come up one night when you and your bride were having cocktails on your patio overlooking the bay?
Well, a lot of us would go over to Coronado, and they had a show over there,
right?
As you may remember.
I do.
It was sort of difficult to get home after that because of all the boats and everything, and it was kind of a smaller show. And we didn't have anything on the bay, the Big Bay, the North Bay. And I was building a home in Point Loma, and I told my wife, it's a shame we can't have a fireworks show in this perfect amphitheater because the whole bay is kind of like an amphitheater.
It is.
So I went to, I own a marina, which is called Shelter Cove Marina next to the Valley High. And I had just been president of the Port Tenants Association in the late 90s. And so I knew all the owners, all the 800 the hotels and the shipyards and the marinas and everything. So I went to Joe Terzi, who at that time was the head of the Sheraton. And I said, Joe, I've got an idea here. I think because of the 4th of July is really shut down for hotels. Not totally shut down, but there's no conferences at the conference center. And so the big conference hotels they lose hotel rooms. So this will help your hotel room. He says, it's a great idea. Here's $5,000. So I went over to the port and I said, listen, I think we're going to make a lot of money for you if we have a big fireworks show. And they bought into it and they gave me a little bit of money initially. And so we started off with 2 barges, and then the next year we went to 3, and then now we're at 4, and it's huge.
Oh, it's massive. And anybody who's been in this city, this county for a while has probably been there, and they certainly know about it. There's just no question about it. And, good for you for doing that. There's a lot of tentacles involved. Port of San Diego certainly is now on the title of that, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah, they're the title sponsor, and they give us almost $300,000 in cash, and then
that's great.
A lot of in-kind stuff. For instance, porta potties and park cleanup and things like that. And of course, the harbor police are significant. And so it's a great partnership.
It is a great partnership. We're chatting with Sandy Purdon, founder and executive producer of the Port of San Diego Big Bay Boom. Obviously, that'll be on July 4 this year, like it's on every year.
That's right.
On July 4. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest-running community podcast. We're now in our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union for 6 decades, just doing great things for people living in San Diego County. Sandy, you and I have chatted about this before. Besides being a great beneficiary or benefactor, I should say, for the Armed Services Family Y, this is a great economic boon for the county. How much impact do you bring in economically?
Well, we think it's pretty close to $90 million, and it's very significant compared to other events that are around town. This is with 250, 300,000 people watching it live,
right?
Not counting all the television
viewers, right?
We have Fox affiliates all over the state that show it, and of course you can pick it up anywhere in the world on your computer. So it's very significant.
Right, and exactly. And so the businesses that are in the port, you can see the fireworks from how far? Obviously,
Mission Hills. I have a lot of friends that watch it from Mission Hills and Lidley, and of course all the hotels. The Coronado side where the ferry landing is, of course, all around Point Loma.
Right. So, do you start planning this on July 5th, basically?
Yes. Well, no, July 5th is when we do the cleanup.
Okay.
I have a bunch of volunteers that come down and they scour the shoreline for any debris, and of course we have boats out on the water after the show to pick up any debris if there is any debris.
Right.
We have to get a permit from the Coastal Commission and the Water Quality Control Board and all those ton of permits that we have to get.
Right, exactly. And there's a lot of coordination, obviously, with the first responders as well. The police departments. I'm not sure if sheriff's involved at all on this event. And talk about the feedback you get from the hotels and businesses that are surrounded in that area.
Well, they love it, and they are my platinum sponsors. They make considerable contributions to the event financially, and of course the Midway has a huge event on their deck.
Exactly.
2,000 to 3,000 people, and So it's all, and of course, a lot of people go out on their boats to watch the show.
Right, exactly. So is it difficult for you? I mean, obviously you've been doing this for a while now. So are you getting newer sponsors? Are you getting more sponsors? Are the costs going up? They're going up everywhere in this country.
Yeah, the costs are really going up.
Yeah.
I got significant increases in pyrotechnics and barges and tugs and things like that.
Right. So have you been grabbing new sponsors?
Well, we're always looking for new sponsors.
Right.
But I have some key sponsors, the convention hotels, the port, obviously. U.S. Bank is a big supporter of this event. And Point Loma Nazarene University, which has been a sponsor since day one.
Yeah. No, that makes all the sense in the world. That's in your hood anyway, or close to your hood, I should say.
Yeah.
In that area. Let's go back to the Armed Services YMCA. That's been the beneficiary. Raised a lot of money for them. They do great work for veterans and active duty too, or is it?
Oh yes,
yeah.
No, definitely active duty. I mean, they're the ones that are suffering because of their pay schedule is the same as if you're living in Mississippi. So you can imagine what's happened to them. They do feed food drives for them. Yeah, because once a month, actually twice a month, they can come over and get some food from the food bank.
Right. And I think what's so important about this, anyone that's worked with the military family charities, whether it's Armed Services Y, Navy Marine Corps, Relief Society, USO, they do so much to uplift. Certainly, the spouses of those folks that are serving. Talk about how important it is to work with the spouses of those in the active duty.
Well, funny, we have some of the spouses working at the Y, which is great. But typically, especially in the Navy, we have a lot of people that get deployed for 6-9 months, and that's tough on the spouse that's left behind with the kids. So we interact with them a lot through the Y and provide a lot of services.
Right. So we come back from break, Sandy. I want you to give everybody the hints. Okay, if you've been to this event before, maybe Sandy can tell you, here's some things you should know. Get there early, okay? This is what you should bring. Here's some secrets that people might not know. Here's a great place to park and all that. We'll talk about that as well. And then also, we always save time at the end, Sandy, to ask our listeners, how they can support the event, of course, and how they can support the Armed Services Y. When we return with Sandy Purdon, founder and executive producer of the Port of San Diego Big Bay Boom. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are now in our 18th year. We're the longest-running community podcast in the country, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, broadcasting from the Mission Fed studios here in Scripps Ranch, and Mission Fed for more than 60 years, just doing great things in so many different areas to support folks living in San Diego County. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg with Cloudcast Media. We are back. Another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, chatting with Sandy Purdon, founder and executive producer of the Port of San Diego Big Bay Boom Fireworks in year 24. And I would be challenged to find anybody who has not been to this or have not watched it on TV as well. So, Sandy, what advice do you have for people that are going to come down on the 4th? The fireworks kick off at what time about?
9 o'clock sharp.
Always 9 o'clock sharp. Okay, so don't think about driving down at 8:59. Is that correct?
Well, for instance, Shelter Island is shut down by 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
I know. Since I was mentioning to you, my boat is on Shelter Island, and we already got our passes, our parking passes, if we want to do it. And there's no guarantee you're going to get a parking spot if you wait too long. So
it's an access pass, not a parking pass.
Right, but see, I have a pass to the marina. So anyway, that being said, but hopefully I'm going to be at another function, if you know what I mean. Any hints for people what they should do, what they should pack, where they should park?
Well, a lot of people obviously come down and set up their little tents or whatever, and their lawn chairs, and have a great time. They come early. Yeah. At least for Shelter Island. Yeah. Seaport Village is another great spot, obviously, so the views there are great. One of the places that somebody might want to consider is the Coronado Ferry Landing area, where that park is over there. Okay. Because you look back on the city and you see these fireworks show with the background of the city. It's just beautiful.
So right on Coronado then.
But
they have their own parade, don't they have their own?
Oh, but that's on the other side.
Okay, gotcha.
See, that's over in Glorieta Bay.
Okay.
This is on the city side. So,
right.
Yeah, that's a great spot. But, the Spanish Landing, Harbor Island, even up in the hills of Mission Hills and Little Italy, those are great places to watch.
Right. Now, on the website, is there instructions of where to park and how to park?
There is. No, okay. There's the website has everything. Okay. www.bigbayboom.com.
Okay. So everything you need to know about that. Okay. And when do people start queuing up, or is it just throughout the day?
It's throughout the day, but like I said, Shelter Island gets impacted earliest and the most, probably. Right. But Seaport Village, as I mentioned, is a great spot to watch.
Right. Exactly. So you've been doing this now for 24 years. Did you think it would get this big?
No, I didn't. And that's one of the problems. I never figured out what my exit strategy was going to be.
Yeah, right. Well, you got 24 more years to think about it. So that's hopefully you're grooming someone to do this.
I'm working on it.
It's a massive amount of work, and we're so appreciative that they're doing this. And as working with the port tenants, that's a great organization. There's a great leader there you work with very closely.
The people that have these properties around the bay are just great people and do so much for the community.
Yeah, and listen, this is an iconic event. Are there going to be any new twists? Well, actually, talk about this. You are sync up with what radio station?
Well, 100, the big FM. Okay. 100.7 Big FM. Okay. And they'll do the simulcast choreographed music to the fireworks, and it's amazing. So bring your phone and lock into that station while you're watching the show.
Right. So let me ask you this. Talk about the fireworks. How long are the fireworks, basically?
About 18 minutes.
18 minutes, right. And obviously end with the grand finale to Stars and Stripes Forever, if I got that right. Am I right or wrong?
No, it changes.
Does it really?
We change it every year.
Oh, really? Okay. So is it a spoiler alert? Can you tell us what it's going to be?
No, I'd have to kill you.
Okay, we don't want, no, I think I got to go to this event. You can't be doing that, Sandy.
No, we change it up every year, trying to make it better. Okay. We always do the military medley in the middle somewhere.
I love it. Yeah, the military medley is great. Okay. And I'm assuming the types of fireworks vary from year to year
They do. A lot has to do with availability and what's current and what's technologically
really
current, because it changes and things are getting better. And
interesting. Do you do a survey afterwards to people watching it and say, what did you like about it? What fireworks are better? Or to the poor tenants?
No, we do get some feedback through the website.
Yeah, right, exactly. Is there a certain type of firework that is, boy, you better have these in there because they're so popular?
Well, the higher and the louder. Everybody likes the bang, so.
Yeah, the reason why I say that, Sandy, and Sandy knows this, Sandy's been so magnanimous, and every year he'd invite me to his beautiful house, and it is a gorgeous house. It's got this panoramic view of the bay. It's really quite stunning. And I'd say, I have to turn you down because my mom's birthday is in July 4, and we go to Palm Desert, and in her backyard, they shoot out fireworks, literally, in Monterey Country Club. And it's quite impressive. Literally, you sit in her backyard, and you go, this thing's going to land in the house, for God's sake? And we're always trying to judge, okay, was this year better than the other year? And it's also queued up to music, and there are certain types of fireworks we like. I think that's great. Do you work with the same company that puts on the fireworks, that shoots the fireworks, or does it vary?
I have used, I think, 3 different companies, but this company I've used since about 2015. It was right after 2014.
Yeah.
Because 2012, when everything blew up at once in 30 seconds, which I'm sure many of your audience will remember, was spectacular, but disappointing in many ways.
Well, it's funny. When I told people that I was going to have you on, he goes, was he the guy that was, when all the fireworks went off? Yes. Okay. That was Sandy. Well, what was the reaction? Probably just amazement. And I haven't talked to Sandy about it. And so anyway, but you said something pretty funny. I mean, it put you on the map, actually, right?
It really did. I mean, my sister was in St. Petersburg, and it was all over Russian TV.
Really?
In Russia. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Did they mention your name?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. But I think I know that guy over there. That's crazy. Chatting with Sandy Purdon. He's the founder and executive producer for the Port of San Diego Big Bay Boom, July 4, as it is every year. Fireworks will be at 9 o'clock sharp. According to Sandy, go on for about 18 minutes. Go to the website. Is it Port of San Diego?
No, www.bigbayboom.com.
Right. Have all the information you need about parking, and you do want to get down there early. And if you get there early, make sure you're bringing a lot of water. It can be pretty hot down there, and so forth. And if you want to make reservations for some of those great restaurants down there, if they're not already sold out, you should do that right now as well. So, Sandy, what can our listeners do to support your event? Okay, certainly go to it and like it and all that business. But what else can they do?
Well, on the website, obviously, I have a donate button you can push,
right?
Because we need all the help we can. But the Y does so much for our military families, and of course they have a budget that they need to meet to do all these great things. So I encourage everybody to support the Armed Services Y. Right.
So how many boats are out on the bay to watch this? Is it just absolutely packed?
It's not packed, but it's pretty good. It's probably a couple of hundred.
Yeah, right, exactly. I know my boat will not be out then on the bay. Well, actually, if some of the other owners want to bring it out there, they can certainly do that aspect of it. And again, the views, as you mentioned, you can see them anywhere you're even close to the bay is really good. And do you know how many fireworks shows are going off on the 4th in our county?
Mission Bay is the day before.
Okay.
And then we have a bunch, Coronado goes off at the same time. They're little ones.
How about SeaWorld?
SeaWorld, yes. SeaWorld has their show. I think that's a little bit of different time, like either just before or just after.
Right.
But this company that I use, Pyro Spectaculars, has 400 shows that night, including the huge show in New York, the Macy's fireworks show, which is really huge.
I've never heard of the Macy's, and
it's the granddaddy of them all.
So, my business partner Charles Parisi, a New Yorker, okay, a Wolfham a Yankee fan. I shouldn't say Wolfham; they're the best team in baseball this year, by the way. So, congratulations, Charles. He's nodding his head. He knows about the Macy's. I always think about the Boston, Harbor fireworks.
Yeah, and the symphony,
and the symphony, certainly the pops and all that business. Any final words, Sandy?
No, hope everybody comes out and watches it and has a great time. And if they have an opportunity to support us, go to the website.
Yeah, and to support the Armed Services Y as well. Sandy, it's always a pleasure seeing you. Thank you for what you've done for this community for many, 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 many years. And of course, in the last 24 with the Big Bay Boom, wishing you nothing but another spectacular fireworks show. And we'll look forward to having you back on sooner than later. How's that sound?
Thank you, Drew. Appreciate it.
You bet. Sandy Purdon, founder and executive producer for the Port of San Diego Big Bay Boom. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast, now in our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union for 6 decades, doing great things for San Diegans. We hope you enjoyed the interview.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.